Ladies, let me tell you something real. When a man hurts you, your first instinct might be to react, to confront him, to make him feel the same pain he caused you. But that's exactly what he expects. He expects anger. He expects tears. He expects you to go back and forth with him, begging for answers, demanding explanations, or even lashing out in frustration. But here's the truth. If you want to truly confuse him, if you want to make him feel the weight of his actions, you have to do the opposite of what he anticipates. You have to do what he never saw coming. Silence is your most powerful weapon. When you don't react with drama, when you don't chase him down for answers, that's when he starts thinking. Because silence forces a man to sit with his own thoughts. He doesn't get to dismiss you as just another emotional woman. He doesn't get to justify his actions by painting you as irrational or overreacting. When you refuse to play into the stereotype, when you don't give him the reaction he was counting on, it shakes him. A lot of men move through life thinking they can hurt a woman and just keep going because they know she'll come back. She'll argue. She'll fight for him. She'll do everything but walk away. But when you don't do that, when you go silent, when you simply remove yourself from the situation, he's left alone with the weight of his own actions. That's when the regret starts creeping in. That's when he realizes you're not like the rest. Men don't process emotions the way women do. A woman will cry it out, talk to her friends, heal, and move on. A man will ignore it, distract himself, pretend it doesn't matter. But when you go silent, you take away his ability to move on quickly. You make him question himself. And a man's ego is a fragile thing. When he realizes he no longer has control over your emotions, when he sees that his actions didn't break you the way he thought they would, that's when he starts feeling the loss. It's not about playing games, it's about protecting your peace. Too many women spend their energy fighting for a man who already showed them he doesn't value them. Stop explaining yourself to someone who wasn't listening in the first place. Stop begging for closure from someone who had no problem walking away. You don't need his apology to move on. You don't need his explanation to heal. The moment you take back your power and say, Asterisk, I'm not giving you any more of my time, my energy, or my tears. Asterisk, that's when you truly start winning. The second way to confuse a man who hurt you is to level up instead of breaking down. He expects you to be sad, stuck in the past, checking his social media, waiting for him to come back. But when you start focusing on yourself, when you start glowing instead of grieving, that's when he really starts noticing. A man only values what he thinks he might lose for good. If he thinks you're waiting around, he'll take his time. If he thinks you're suffering without him, he'll feel like he still has a hold on you. But the moment he sees you moving on, improving, becoming stronger, happier, more confident, that's when he starts feeling the weight of his mistake. There's nothing more powerful than a woman who chooses herself. When you start investing in your happiness, when you start looking better, feeling better, living better, it shakes him up. Because now he has to wonder, Asterisk, was he really as important as he thought he was? Did you even need him the way he assumed you did? Was losing him actually a loss for you? Asterisk, that uncertainty eats at him. He wants to believe he was the best thing in your life. And when you show him that your life is even better without him, it makes him question everything. Go to the gym, get a new look, work on your goals, travel. Do all the things you might have put on hold while you were with him. Not to make him jealous, not to prove anything to him, but for yourself. Because the best revenge is success. When you elevate yourself, when you step into your full potential, when you become the woman you were always meant to be, it doesn't just confuse him. It makes him regret ever letting you go. Now, the third way to truly throw a man off is to show him grace, but never give him the same access again. A lot of women think forgiveness means giving someone another chance. It doesn't. Forgiveness is for you. It's about freeing yourself from the anger, the resentment, the pain. It's about saying, asterisk, I refuse to let what you did control my happiness. Asterisk, but just because you forgive him doesn't mean he gets to come back into your life like nothing happened. Men don't learn from words, they learn from consequences. If he disrespected you, if he lied, if he betrayed your trust and you let him back in the same way, he won't change, he'll just be more careful next time. But when he realizes that his actions had real consequences, that he lost a good woman, that there's no coming back, that's when the lesson sinks in. You don't have to be bitter, you don't have to be rude. You don't have to prove anything. Just remove him from the position he once held in your life. Let him see that he can't treat you any way he wants and still have access to you. Let him see that the door he walked out of is now locked. That's when the regret hits him the hardest. Too many women hold on to men who already showed them they're not worth holding on to. Letting go isn't weakness. It's strength. It's knowing your worth. It's refusing to settle for less than you deserve. And when you carry yourself with that kind of confidence, when you walk away with your head held high, when you refuse to let his actions break you, you don't just confuse him, you make him realize exactly what he lost. When a man hurts you, the best way to handle it isn't by crying, begging, or seeking revenge. The real way to confuse him is by focusing on yourself and leveling up instead of breaking down. A man expects you to be heartbroken, stuck in the past, checking his social media and waiting for him to come back. He expects you to be miserable without him, but when you show him that his absence hasn't broken you, that's when he starts paying attention. A man only values what he thinks he might lose for good. If he believes you're waiting around, he'll take his time. If he assumes you're hurting without him, he'll feel like he still has control over you. But when he sees you moving forward, glowing, thriving, that's when he starts realizing what he lost. There's nothing more powerful than a woman who chooses herself. When you start focusing on your happiness, when you begin improving yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, it shakes him up. He starts questioning himself. Asterisk, was he really as important in your life as he thought? Did you even need him the way he assumed you did? Was losing him actually a loss for you? Asterisk, that kind of uncertainty gets to a man. He wants to believe he was the best thing in your life, and when you show him that your life is even better without him, it forces him to see things differently. Instead of sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, get up and do something that makes you better. Work on yourself, build your confidence, elevate your life, get in the gym, not because you need to impress anyone, but because feeling strong in your body will remind you how powerful you are. Upgrade your style, not to make him jealous, but because looking good makes you feel good. Chase your goals, put your energy into something meaningful, focus on your career, your passions, your dreams. When you do that, you stop being the woman who lost a man and start being the woman he lost. Men always think they're irreplaceable, until they see you doing just fine without them. That's when they start paying attention. The moment you stop seeking validation from him, the moment you shift your focus to building yourself up, he starts wondering. He starts questioning whether he made the right decision. That's when the regret sets in, not when you cry, not when you beg, not when you try to get his attention, but when you move on like he never existed. Your energy is powerful. When you redirect it from heartbreak to self-improvement, you become unstoppable. People notice, your confidence grows, your aura shifts. You start attracting better things because you're no longer vibrating at a level of pain and desperation. That's the real glow up. And when he sees that, when he notices you're no longer the same woman he thought he could hurt and walk away from, it hits him differently. Too many women waste time trying to prove their worth to a man who didn't appreciate them in the first place. Stop proving, stop explaining, stop waiting. The best revenge is showing him that he was just a chapter in your story, not the whole book. When a man sees you thriving, when he realizes that his presence wasn't as important as he thought, that's when he starts feeling the loss. It's not about making him jealous or proving a point. It's about choosing yourself every single day. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to let heartbreak define you. The moment you shift your focus from him to yourself, you win. Because at the end of the day, the real lesson isn't about confusing him, it's about elevating yourself to a place where his actions no longer affect you. That's the real power. When a man hurts you, the natural reaction is to feel pain, anger, and even the urge to get back at him. But the smartest thing you can do is to handle it with grace while never giving him the same access to you again. Forgiveness isn't about letting him off the hook, it's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment. When you hold on to anger, you're still giving him control over your emotions. You're still allowing him to have space in your mind and heart. But when you forgive not for his sake, but for your own, you take back your power. Men don't learn from words, they learn from consequences. You can talk, explain, and tell him how much he hurt you, but if there's no real consequence, he won't fully understand the damage he caused. If he disrespected you, lied to you, or took you for granted, and you allow him to come back like nothing happened, he won't change. He'll just be more careful next time. But when you remove yourself, when he realizes that he lost something good and there's no way to get it back, that's when the lesson sinks in. Walking away doesn't mean you have to be cold or bitter. You don't need to send long messages telling him what he did wrong. You don't need to prove anything to him. You don't need to argue or convince him to understand your worth. Just be done. Let your silence and absence do all the talking. He will feel it. He will notice, because a man only truly realizes what he had when it's no longer available to him, when he tries to come back, and most men do when they see you moving on. Don't let him back in like nothing happened. That's the mistake too many women make. He says sorry, and suddenly he has access again. He sends a message, and suddenly he's back in your life. If you allow that, you're teaching him that he can hurt you, disappear, and return whenever it's convenient for him. And if he knows he can always come back, he'll never truly value you the way he should. The real way to make a man understand your worth is to remove the privilege of having you, not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. You can forgive him in your heart, you can wish him well, but that doesn't mean he gets to walk back into your life. That doesn't mean he gets the same version of you he once had. Some doors once closed should remain locked. Men respect what they can't have. If he knows he lost you for good, if he understands that his actions had real consequences, that's when he will truly feel it. And if he really cares, if he truly regrets what he did, he will change, not to win you back, but because he realizes he has to be better. And if he doesn't, then you know you made the right decision by walking away. Either way, you win. Too many women hold on to men who already showed them they're not worth holding on to. Letting go isn't weakness, it's strength. It's knowing your value and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. It's making peace with the past while building a better future. And when you do that, when you carry yourself with that kind of confidence and self-respect, you don't just confuse him, you make him realize exactly what he lost. When a man hurts you, the most powerful thing you can do is to show him grace while never giving him the same access to you again. Forgiveness is not about excusing his behavior or letting him back into your life. It's about setting yourself free from the weight of anger and resentment. Holding on to pain doesn't hurt him. It only keeps you stuck in a place where you don't belong. When you forgive, You take back control over your emotions and allow yourself to move forward without bitterness. Men don't learn from words, they learn from consequences. You can explain, you can argue, you can cry and tell him exactly how much he hurt you. But if nothing changes, he won't fully understand the impact of his actions. If you allow him back too easily, if you accept half-hearted apologies and broken promises, he will continue to treat you the same way. People only value what they know they can lose, and if he never truly loses you, he'll never fully appreciate you. Walking away doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need to beg for closure or prove a point. Just be done. Let your silence speak for itself. A man expects you to react emotionally, to fight for him, to keep the door open just in case he decides to walk back in. But when you remove yourself completely, when you show him that you refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve, that's when he will start to feel the loss, when he tries to come back. And most men do when they realize they no longer have access to you. You have a choice. You can go back to the same cycle, or you can show him that his actions had real consequences. Letting someone back in too easily teaches them that they can hurt you, disappear, and return whenever it's convenient for them. If he knows he can always come back, he will never take you seriously, but when he sees that the door is closed for good, that's when reality hits him. A man respects what he can't have. If he truly regrets what he did, he will change, not because he wants to win you back, but because he realizes he has to be better. And if he doesn't change, if he moves on without any real reflection, then you know you made the right decision by walking away. Either way, you win. Letting go isn't weakness. It's a sign of strength, self-respect, and knowing your worth. Some people don't deserve second chances. Some lessons have to be learned the hard way. And when you choose yourself, when you move forward with confidence, you don't just confuse him. You show him exactly what he lost.